So back in the day, there weren't really frozen desserts or prepared desserts. All the establishments used to have their own pastry chefs and bakery chefs. There was a lot of skill, a lot of expertise. And as you're probably aware, pastry is an exact science. It isn't just a bit of this and a bit of that and hope, and I'm sure it'll work out. This is measured process, system, procedure, or else it doesn't always work out. And we had a rather grumpy pastry chef who also used to ride a Honda 125 called Bernard Thackwell. He was a big character, always seemed to have a fag hanging out of his mouth, of course away from the kitchen. And he used to work on the pastry section as the senior chef and do a 6 till 6. He was one of the few people that ever used to do split shifts. And I remember that the section I worked on was actually behind the pastry chef, or the pastry section. And one day I was given, I think, 20 ropes of garlic to peel and then smash and take the green thing out of it and then finally chop and all the rest of it and then grind with salt. And I think it took me about 2 days to do that. No, it didn't actually, it took me a day. I remember once Bernard had gone home thinking, well, he's got some lovely great big space in here. I'm going to go and hide in the back and muck about and piss around, playing with the garlic for a number of hours, which I did, and used his great big work surfaces to put all of my crap out, which was all good fun. Of course, I didn't put enough salt in it, and it wasn't ground enough, and this wasn't right, but all those kind of things that one kind of gets when you're doing a trade and learning. Did the job, wiped down, that was it. And I remember a lot of screaming and shouting the following morning when Bernard had made, I think, 400 Charlotte Russes, which I thought was the name of a girl, but it actually was a very famous French dessert. And when he came to actually taste one, which he always used to at the end of his preparation, they had a slight aroma of garlic, which wasn't exactly Nouvelle cuisine. I think I've still got the bruises recall me. Oof, it was a tough day, that one. So, couple of years actually working on the potato section, or probably a year working on the potato section. Within the potato section, you had your own equipment, your own area, your own service, and you worked alongside people that did the legumes or the vegetables. And every single day we had 4 different potato dishes. And over a week there was probably 20 to 30 different dishes. And of course, in those days, you didn't just create a dish by saying, oh, I've got some nice new potatoes and I've got some whatever, I'm going to chuck something. This had to come from the repertoire de la cuisine. It had to be a traditional, classical French kind of dish. So it was all about slicing and shredding and chopping, and it was about baking and mashing and preparing. So typically a day like today, they would have paysanne potato, which was thick slice cooked in butter with consomme, chervil, garlic, the infamous garlic, and some chervil. So you'd have to make the consomme with obviously the eggshells and mincing the meat, and you'd have to do this and blah, blah, blah. That was a dish. And at the same time, you may very well have orlade, which was braised potatoes in quarters with bacon and tiny onions. You'd have to peel thousands of tiny onions and prep those and do this. And then at night time, you may have pont neuf. And pont neuf were great big chips that used to deep fry. I think nowadays they've probably got some rather posher name for that. And then you could also have, something like hongroise. And that was, so I used to try and think hongroise, that's with paprika, how do I associate this with that? And that was a braised potato with paprika and tomatoes. So it's all about potato rumbling and peeling and preparation of potatoes. And these dishes, you look at them and you think, well, stupid French names. But I tell you what, some of those dishes were absolutely blinders. And you begin to wonder, why the hell do we constantly look forward with food when some of the very best stuff is actually from history?